Hey folks, it's Weatherman Sam. It is November the 4th, and there's a chill through the air for sure. We got a couple of nights of frost coming, so this is the last hurrah, and probably the last video for the season, I think. And today is also the day we get to see just how tall that tallest of the yoker got. I know it's over 9 feet, but we'll get a final count of that and a final harvest of the okra and the tomatoes. Lots of little green tomatoes to be had. The peppers, there's plenty of peppers to pick, and I'll give some updates. Let's kind of round out the season. And there it is, folks. An even 10 foot. That is incredible. The view's nice from up here. I think this will be the first one we pick. We'll get a few of these others while we're up here too. Not every day I get to cut okra standing on a ladder. Still got a number of little ones down here. Good size. We'll get that guy. We'll get this guy. It's kind of covering in on itself, even though he's little. Anything to keep it from the frost, I suppose. It's just not worth the risk. See how many we end up with today. Good old lucky number 13. We made it in double digits here. November the 4th. This craziness. And since we're so close here, I think in addition to this, we'll go ahead and pick whatever bell peppers are left and take those in. Looks like we've still got a few. They're not huge, but good enough to use. That guy there. I see one there. I can't quite reach from this side. Some other little bitty ones. Good for a burger or something. These are those that I left to grow. I forgot about this limb. There's 4 or 5 little ones in the basket. Then we got some nicer guys here. Yeah, that's awesome. That'll help fill up the basket. Oh my goodness. Well, we ended up with 25, basically about this size. Some a little smaller. I got to pulling on some of the limbs, and they're brittle, they break this time of year, but that's okay. I just found way more than than what I thought, so that's awesome. 13 okra and 25 bell peppers for this first load in. Now for the banana peppers, we ought to have quite a nice little haul. I've been leaving these so they grow and get a little bit bigger, but they won't take the frost. So let's see how many we have of these. some of the littlest ones I'll just have to leave on. Some of the little guys like that, I don't guess I'll pick any of those that are bigger. Makes for a nice little handful. Well, we ended up with a good 27 of these. That's a good harvest for us. And a great last harvest. And now I'll see how many jalapenos we got. 51. These wonderful jalapenos. Next to our 27 banana peppers. Problem with this time of year, you start to lose daylight pretty quickly. Even as soon as I get home from work. But nonetheless, we're gonna get in here and pick some of these habaneros, including that whopper that I showed a few videos back. Some of these are still a little green, but they'll ripen indoors pretty easily. Put them in a good sunny window. I've been so impressed with how big the habaneros got. I mean, probably 4 feet tall before they got too heavy and fell over. And the amount of fruit, the production we've had off of them has just been amazing to me. Such wonderful, spicy little pumpkins. We've already picked 31. I'm going for the big kahuna here now that I've been waiting on picking. Well, 2 of them came off my hand at once. Perhaps equally big. But that guy, oh, he's huge. By far the biggest one I think we've had this season. Wonderful. Oh, I discovered a little hideaway for something here that's been coming in and munching whatever that was. Looks like a tomato maybe, and that's a jalapeno pepper. This was a little hideaway base of operations. Probably those rapids. Well, we ended up at 64. It's one of our biggest harvests ever. Oh, there's probably still twice that out here. Pull this up and show you. Look at all that green fruit still there. Tons of it and tons more blooms. It's just, it fell off. It's loaded with these guys. I wish I had time to pick it off, but I do not. Well, we got a few little cayenne left. Going off the whole vine here, the whole plant. Probably won't get too many of these guys today, but that's okay. It's been a good season for them too. Well, we only ended up with 10 of these guys today, and I can show you the culprit down here in the bottom. If you can see all of those that are eaten. Somebody was having quite a little feast here. We'll make quick our little harvest here of the tomatoes. There won't be many of them to pick. But we're almost done. We'll make us a good batch of fried green tomatoes out of these, I think. Maybe not that one. He's been munched on. It's the first cherry tomato I've ever eaten in my life. Okay, I like that. Don't know if you can see that, but my breath is frosting in the air. We're down into the 40s now. We had some low stratiform clouds, but you can see it's all moved out. It's going to be a beautiful night. Full of stars. This morning will bring frost on these tomatoes. We've already got 16 or 17 and a few more left to go. We're gonna call this done. I got 27. A lot of these that are left are really too small to do anything with, or they've been eaten, munched on. We have one last thing to tend to here before dusk sets in. It's a good old Fatale pepper plant that my brother sent me. I'm gonna bring it indoors. It's got a number that arrived to pick, half a dozen or so. But this is something for him that I told him I would do. This is the 7th hottest pepper in the world on the Scoville scale. It ranges between 120 and, what was it, 400,000 units. Pretty spicy. So, without further ado, here's me eating a Fatale pepper. Wipe it off first. Ooh. Just that little bit. Oh, that'll light you up. Oh man. Yeah, my eyes are already watering. Yeah, I'd say it had a little bit of a citrusy taste, but it is so hot. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Well, folks, until next year, keep digging, and as my wife would say, keep growing. It's been a fun year and a great adventure. Hey folks, Weatherman Sam. I'm here on a beautiful mid-November day. Lots of little birds flying around. And we might have one more little thing of vegetables to pick. Mostly the peppers. Habaneros are still kicking. As you can see here. The frosts have done some damage, and we have a killing frost moving in the night. You know, I think every video this season I've started with the yucca, so we're going to start with the peppers this time. Still getting lots of these guys. We're just we're not should say we're just dehydrating them, but sort of just slicing the tops off of them and freezing them. We'll use them in a saucer or something later. Maybe switch it up, give it some variety. I'm not sure how many of these we'll end up with, but just looking around, there's quite a few. And I may even pick the green ones as well. Well, we ended up with 77, mostly ripe ones. Still a lot of these, they got a lot of green on them, but as long as they have a little bit of a tint of orange, they'll turn. Be one good last final batch of them. After a little bit of thought and some research on what I could do with these, you know, I don't let anything go to waste. So we are going to pick every single one of these green guys and make us some green chili powder and give that a try, or maybe use it in some salsa or something. But oh, there's just tons of these. There's lots of little, you know, I think you're the Asian beetle flying around, landing on stuff. But yeah, we'll pick these guys and see how many we end up with. I bet it takes 2 baskets. Well, I gotta take the first look at the green ones in. There's 150 of these guys. Yeah, we're not done yet. Wow. I wanted to video this wild milestone. 49. 50. That's 150 of the second batch. So far we have 300 green habanero. And I'm not sure how many, much more. So 80 more. Yeah, I'm gonna end it at even 380. There's probably more that could be picked, but there's a lot of little ones out there. But if you add this to the 77, we picked over 450 peppers today. That's amazing. Alright, now we're gonna get what left of these bells, even if they're little bitty rinky dink things like this, just barely the size of my thumb. But I'm also finding a few that I missed the last go around. There's a big guy up in there I can get to. Be curious to see what else I missed in here. Okay, go ahead and pick this guy. Crazy, we got all these nice fall colors. It's almost past peak for fall colors here in North Alabama. But I'm still picking vegetables. Now let's get that big guy. And then I'll video at the end how many full ones we get. This is the nice one we've had in a while. Oh yeah. He's a good one. We ended up with 10. Not as big as these guys. But all of this will be kind of chopped up and go to the same bag. And used for some good stuff later. Well, I thought I got all the banana peppers. There's still this guy. If I'd seen him last week, I probably would have cut it. There's some other little ones around. These guys are a little green, but I may take him anyway. There's 3. A lot of these low hanging branches have some surprises sometimes. Maybe him. Maybe he's big enough. Good enough for a little pizza or something. So that'll be 4 banana peppers. Now the cayenne. There's the same thing with these. I'll be picking both the red and the green ones today. 158, mostly green cayenne. Yeah, what? Oops, excuse me. Okay, so we ended up with 162 cayenne peppers. That's remarkable and by far our biggest haul. Now granted, I haven't picked any of the green ones, but we're gonna make some green cayenne powder out of these, I think, maybe. And also found a few more habanero, so that puts us up over 460 that I picked today total. That's just remarkable. Wild. And now the jalapeno. I've already got most of the big guys. My last big harvest. But there's still some of these around. And I'll try to pick the ones that really are worthy of cutting. A lot of little small ones out here. Well, I got a dozen, but some of these are real little. Some of these may get just used for seed preservation for next year. But worth picking nonetheless. Well, I'm honestly shocked. Oh, if I can get it off the vine. Look at that little tomato. We might have just enough hanging around it here that the frost last weekend didn't get for one more little round of fried green tomatoes in mid-November. Pick some of these cherries. Maybe these will ripen. They're quite tasty little things. Get up in this tangle web of vines. Here's another good green tomato. And another good green tomato. Wow. This is nice. Unexpected. Pick them or you lose them. There's 4 more right there. I never pulled these Cherokee purple. And here at the end of all this, don't have any ripe. So I've got a few green that I can pick. We'll just slice them and add them into the fried green tomato mix too. Why not? Ah, that's too bad. Now this will most certainly be the last tomatoes I picked this season. Some beautiful better boys. And that puts me with 19 total. Picked a little pumpkin guy just because I like the way it looks. Goodies. We have one last good harvest off of these Fatale. Now I won't be trying one this week, but we'll have to pick these. Be good for powder. Man, they got some kick. But I like that little citrus flavor to them, huh? That'll be good. Good for a good chili. And we ended up with 15 of these little bad boys. Such a variation in color, it's hard to see in the video. Maybe if I have that one against that one, see the yellow versus the orange. It's pretty striking. So there we go. It's mid-November. Surely this is the last harvest. But the garden kind of decides that for you. Hard to believe I came out here and found almost 2 dozen tomatoes. 450 something, 460 habaneros, and look at this, there's still all of these. There's probably 100 of these little bitty guys. They're almost too little to process, you know. So we'll leave them for something to eat. 161 cayenne, a dozen jalapeno, a couple banana peppers, 10 bell peppers, and no okra. For once, no okra. But what a year and what a harvest. Until next time, keep digging, keep growing, and it's time to go make some fried green tomatoes.